I have been in education for 15 years, and I've been only at Gainesville. It's the only district I've been with. I started off as an instructional aide for special education. I did that for a year, and then I was a special education teacher for about 6 years. And then I was an art facilitator a few years, for like 2 or 3 years while I finished my master's degree, and then I became a diagnostician about 6 years ago.
So her role as a diag is really when we have a referral of a student or possible referral of a student to really determine where we're going to evaluate. So her role is not only evaluation to determine whether they're going to qualify for SPED and what area they're going to qualify in, it's also to support those special education teachers.
So Chalmers is around 700 students, and our age group is the clientele where most kids got to get identified for some type of learning disability. You have to show gaps in instruction, and when the kids are young, like kindergarten and first grade, those gaps hadn't have enough time to widen. You don't see a lot of differences between the students' abilities. It's when you get into second grade and work gets a little harder and reading gets a little more difficult, when you get into third grade, when you get into testing years, things like that, that you notice those gaps and you see those situations where kids need extra help.
Well, the sooner that we can identify a student with a disability, the sooner we can provide interventions and accommodations, and the sooner we can close those gaps. And so hopefully they don't get too large of a gap. It's important because it takes all of us involved to help that student to implement the accommodations that we discuss in the ARD meetings, to implement the goals and individual education plan that we talk about. And so it takes everyone involved, including the parents, and having their input into what their child needs.
We moved her down to the elementary because of the amount of evaluations we were getting at that level. And so she really handles that caseload really well. She works with those teachers, she works with those parents, and she works with those kids to build that trust and relationship.
So, and when I am going over an initial evaluation, I try to put it in terms that are understandable, because some of the stuff in there is overwhelming and it's a lot of information. And so I tried to go slowly through the evaluation but not get too bogged down into technical stuff, and I always tried to mention something positive that I have noticed while testing, or something that I see as a strength in the student that we can build on.
Part of Ms. Jeffcoat's job is to assess students, and that takes hours and hours and hours. When you're doing a monotonous test, that takes a skill, and Ms. Jeffcoat does a great job with that. I've never had one kid come out of those sessions and complain. So obviously she has a good rapport with the kids, because it's a very, very important test that she's given. It's very time consuming and arduous. So she does a great job with that.
My why is because I want to make a difference in kids' life. I want to do anything I can to help kids be successful in life and in school. And I love what I do. It's enjoyable. Every day is different. It's kind of like putting together a puzzle piece with kids, trying to figure out what we can do to help them. So I just really enjoy what I do.